Hi everybody, this is Callie. Thanks for joining me today. I have a watercolor project here that I've created using a Mondo Magnolia by Julie Ebersol set. It's an Essentials by Ellen Hudson stamp set, and it's really beautiful. This card is actually inspired by Carissa Wiley's Sprinkled with Glitter. She does a lot of watercoloring using this stamp set, so I decided I would go ahead and play with it and make my own today. I am using some watercolor paper here, and I'm going to use my Misty to stamp my flower and position it where I want it on this card. I am using a anti-static powder tool there to prepare my work surface so that I can stamp this with Versafine Onyx black ink so that I can emboss the image with clear powder before I actually start watercoloring. So I'm going to go ahead and do this twice because I didn't get a perfect image the first time, and that's what makes the Misty so great. I highly recommend this tool. I actually have two. This one's the laser etched version. I do have the screen printed version as well. I don't think the screen printed version is being sold anymore, so that's great for everybody. So once I stamped that, I went ahead and added clear embossing powder, and now I made sure that my heat tool is good and hot before I heat set this image. And once I'm done with that, I am going to prepare my area here for watercoloring using some distress inks. Now for watercoloring using distress inks, I like to use a laminated piece of cardstock. That way I can rinse the area once I'm done, and it's really easy to clean off this laminated white cardstock, and I can see the clear colors. I'm using 3 distress ink colors, but I think I really could have only used 2. You'll see me use 1 or 2 occasionally on each petal instead of 3. But I've got Festive Berries, Worn Lipstick, and Spun Sugar. And what I do is I will wet the entire petal one at a time, and I'll go ahead and add the darkest color to the bottom of the petal and let it go ahead and move to the outer edge. Now on this petal here, I didn't clean off my brush too well, so there's pink on it and there's too much water. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick some of that extra water up with my absorber. And then I'm adding the medium color to that first petal that I worked on, and then some lighter color. So for the rest of the flower, it's going to be about the same. Again, sometimes I use the medium color and sometimes I don't, depending on how well it blends from dark to light and how much water is being used on each petal and the look that I am satisfied with. So I'll go ahead and speed this up so that I can color, and you can see how each moves, and I go ahead and go back and add some color to some of the petals where I feel like it should be darker if there's not enough color there. And then where the petals curl, I want it to be dark, so I am just using the darkest color on those little areas there. A lot of people use distress stains for this. Like I mentioned, this card is inspired by Carissa Wiley, and she does like to use distress stains instead of the distress inks like I'm using here. It's just whatever you have on hand and whatever you want to use that makes it work. Julie Ebersol and Carissa Wiley make it look really, really simple with the distress stains, but I don't have any, so this is what I'm doing. I'm adding some mustard seed in yellow there towards the center, and then I'm using a stamp set by Stampin' Up called One Big Meaning to stamp this thank you note as a sentiment on some vellum, and I'm going to use that as a band across the flower. So again, I'm using my Misty, and because the stamp set already has foam on it, I'm going to remove the black foam piece that comes with the Misty product. So again, I'm using the Versafine Onyx black ink because I want to use some clear embossing powder, and I'm going to heat set this with my heat tool. So once that's good and ready, make sure you don't touch it right away. On vellum, it seems like it doesn't dry as fast, so if you touch it right away, it'll smear. And so I had to redo mine. So now I'm just going to place it on the card where I want it, and then I'm going to fold the flaps back and add some adhesive. And once I do that, I'll go ahead and add that to the card itself. I decided to embellish this area. I would add some gold thread. So I'm just going to give it a few loops around my first 2 fingers there and then place it where I want it. And to hold it down, I'm going to use some fast fuse adhesive. You can use any adhesive really. So I use fast fuse. I just wanted everything to stick down really, really well. And to hide that adhesive once sticking down this thread, I decided to use another Essentials by Ellen die that is called Bold Blossom. It came out with this Mondo Magnolia set. And I've never used it before, so I've been dying to use these products. So I went ahead and cut that out using some Stampin' Up! Gold shimmer paper. Now Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this anymore, but you can use any gold, sparkle. There's lots of gold paper products out there, so use whatever you have. I'm going to add that, and to finish this off, I'm going to add a few sequins. I'm using moonshine this time. I like the sizes that this line has available, and it's by Simon Says Stamp. All the supplies and products will be listed below in my product description and as well as on my blog. So make sure you visit that if you want to see exactly what products were used. So I'm using my block there to hold down that flower that I die cut out, and then I'm going to use my block again to hold down those bigger sequins. I added some adhesive underneath the sequins as well, underneath the vellum, to make sure that that vellum is secure. And so once I add all the sequins that I am happy with, I'll go ahead and add this to my top folding card base. I use Recollections 110 brand. It's a brand that I get at Michael's, and it's high quality to me, and it's always worked well. You'll notice there that top layer is watercolor paper, so it's not as bright white. A lot of people use Tim Holtz watercolor paper because it's a little bit brighter. But this works for me, so that's my card, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more, please visit my YouTube channel. I do have 2 other videos here that I'd like to share with you. The first one is a double slider card that I created to announce my pregnancy, as well as having a girl. And the second one is a Lawn Fawn Shaker card that I recently made. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks.